Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Games on Quick Hotfix. This is the community grab bag. This is a collection of games that have been submitted by you, the community, to the Hotfix submission forums. And we're going to see a couple of games that have been submitted by you. Just for a reminder, if you don't know, you can always submit your runs to be shown on the GDQ Hotfix. You can always do that over at gdq.gg/hotfix. And just a few reminders before we get into the runs today. Gamescom GDQ will take place August 28th to the 30th live in Cologne, Germany. You visit gamescom.global for more info about the event, and you can check out gdq.gg/schedule/gamescom to see what runs we'll be featuring at our first European event. Also, if you are ever curious about what's coming up on the Hotfix, you know, go check that out over at gdq.gg/hotfix. And then, like I said earlier, submit your runs there. With all that said, we've got some games coming up. This first one, I'm going to say this wrong probably. We've got the Gnorp Apologue. I'll hand it over to you two if you want to introduce yourselves.
Yeah, hello. It's David PKI, and I'll be your runner for the evening, one of them. And on commentary, I have with me Zero Counts.
Hi, I'm Zero Counts. I will be doing my best to help commentate this awesome game.
All right, so really quickly, the Gnorp Apologue is an idle clicker game, but it does have a speedrun mode. But the thing is, in order to use speedrun mode, you have to have beaten the game first. And so I'm not showing off speedrun mode, I'm showing off new game normal mode. I'll go ahead and click start here. I've already deleted my save file and started again. Time doesn't start until we first click on the rock, but we have Gnorps. They're going around a fire. There is a rock here with talent points. Right now I have no talent. Make the jokes. But then there's a big old rock and a bunch of shards right in front of it. What are we going to do with that? Well, these Gnorps are going to use these shards to build a shard collector, and it's up to me to start helping them out. So let's go ahead and start time in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Fun.
Yeah, so right off the bat, you'll notice clicking the rock gets a few shards out, and so we're gonna have to click on these shards in order to get them over to the shard collector. This is a little bit tedious, as you can tell. I'm having to click each one individually, and so I'm trying to get, say, 5 of them over so that I can collect 10 total, which allows me to build... Oh, I'm one short. Let's build that. And then that's going to immediately allow me to recruit one runner. That one runner is going to come along and help me collect shards.
Look at him go.
Yeah, look at him go. He is helping. But for now, at least, most of the effort is going to have to go toward my clicking, but I can move some of these things closer because, as you'll note, the runner does not have as far to travel if the shards are closer to the stash. At 12 shards, build some housing. Yeah.
Gotta make more Gnorps.
Gotta make more Gnorps. I'll focus attention on the top right now. There are 0 plus 2 Gnorps, which is I have enough housing for 2 more Gnorps, but it's going to take a while before they actually become available. And as they become available, I will be able to recruit them. I will get more runners. They will help me out with these shards. I can build more housing right now. But the housing costs a little bit more than it did previously. Let's go ahead and get another Gnorp going on the collection, and then I can build housing one more time. Let me throw it over to you, Zero, for a little bit while I focus on gathering up these shards.
Yeah, so one of the key things about Gnorp Apologue is that we kind of mentioned it before, but the costs of these things are all going to slowly increase kind of exponentially as you buy things. So what that means is that David's going to have to keep track of the number of runners that he has available or that he has currently running, as well as the amount of shards, which is the currency coming off of the rock that he is collecting. And making sure that he is able to purchase the next thing in line close to when the proper number of shards are available. Early on, it's a little bit easier to do that because you don't have as many things that you have to be paying attention to. Right now, we're really just buying runners and increasing the capacity of shards that they can carry and making sure that they have homes to go back to when they're not working. but it will, as we progress into the next couple playthroughs, getting towards the end of the game, so many more things will become available to us. I guess we can kind of talk about why we have to play through the game multiple times.
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, so what we're trying to do here is when you get to certain points in the game, there's a little meter next to the word prestige up in the top that needs to fill up, and when that fills up, you get these talent points. At any time, you can hold down that prestige button and end the run, and then you can, however many talent points you have next to the prestige button, you can then use on your next playthrough of the game. Talent points give you access to a bunch of different abilities that you can use on your Gnorps. Most of them give you positives, but then also have some negatives that may outweigh, or that may, they have some give and take to them. So really the run is all about finding out how to, or what talents to buy on each playthrough, and minimizing the number of playthroughs that you need to ramp up to purchasing the finale, which is the last thing that you need to buy in the playthrough to end the game.
Yeah, I'm going to note some stuff about what I'm doing for this first run. There's another building that you could have built at the stash called the Slam Club. The Slam Club is a building that allows you to recruit Gnorps, and basically what they do is they hit their heads on the rock to make it dish out more shards. The problem is they don't do very much damage, and you need quite a lot of them in order to build up that rock damage, and so I'm not bothering with slammers. In fact, you will never see a single slammer all evening. I've got other methods in mind, but in particular, I'm building up to build a rock analysis lab. The other thing is that since all my damage is coming from clicking on the rock right now, I need exactly enough Gnorps to keep up with the damage that I'm doing, and there's different amounts that you can do here. The rule in my head is multiply your Gnorps by the capacity to get between 48 to 50, and you'll be able to keep up. But that brings the question of, are you going to do 10 Gnorps with 5 capacity, or 12 Gnorps with 4 capacity, or 16 Gnorps with 3 capacity? And after a lot of trial and error, I have settled on 16 Gnorps with 3 capacity, and there's a very specific reason for this. Every time I have built housing, you have noticed that it takes a very long time before the Gnorps that I actually get from that housing become available. So I find it better to have more Gnorps earlier and scale up the capacity later. Speaking of which, I built a rock analysis lab, and the reason for that is because there's going to be an upgrade there that I'm going to unlock pretty soon. This upgrade is going to be what I need for this first run, and it's at 500 shards. So let's go ahead and do it now. Weak spot weakness. You click on the rock and it shoots out a lot. Now, obviously, it's very limited. There are only so many weak spots, but there's so many shards out now, and I can then suddenly bump up the runner's capacity, and so they are collecting a whole lot really fast. In the upper right, the collection rate is going to be skyrocketing, and the bar is rumbling. We have 1 talent point now, but I'm going to keep scaling it up, and then waiting until that second time it rumbles when I get 2 talent points. Alright, once it starts rumbling, you can press and hold prestige. So what does prestige do? We're ending the run. We're starting over.
GG's. Sort of.
Yeah, that's one rundown.
Yeah.
But we haven't actually.
That's the first time.
So let's go ahead and get right back into it. We now have 2 talent points. These talent points are going to go in here toward these 2 skills immediately. By having 2 talent points, we'll get this one automatically. Increase the multiplier for every 4 employed Gnorps. You get 1 bonus Gnorp every 10 minutes, and then that third one doesn't matter. The multiplier is referring to this. That multiplies the damage that the runners it multiplies the number of shards the runners get back, as well as the amount of damage you do. We also have runner backstop. If runner collection is less than 50% of damage, runners get a lot of increased capacity. And we have extra housing. Every 7th housing you build builds another for free. So let's go ahead and get this going. We're going to, since my initial click on the rock did a lot of damage, that means I have way outpacing what the runners can do right now. So get that first runner as soon as you can, and you're gonna see that one guy is carrying a lot, like a lot of shards. Build up your housing immediately. I'll go ahead and click the rock in order to keep that damage output high for as long as possible, and I'm just going to focus on getting Gnorps out so that they can carry all those shards back. My multiplier is slightly higher than it was in the previous run. It's at 2.2x instead of 2x. And furthermore, I'm going to be able to build this house of shards almost immediately. So that's a really nice thing. But the initial burst of damage from opening up the rock has worn off now. My runners are no longer getting that extra carrying capacity for free. So now I gotta start, like, you know, doing this like a normal run, basically. The way this is gonna work, I'm going to build up some housing and then build up to only 10 runners, because now I need Gnorps for other things. So it's better now to limit your number of runners to, like, say, 10 or so, and a 5th capacity, maybe? I don't know. We'll figure that out at some point. But the runner backstop is the most important talent for this section, which means we need to make use of it. So the weak spot weakness of the research thing, that's very useful. It gets you a lot of money really fast, but it's not sustained. So, which means at 300, I'm going to make something else, the propulsion lab. Can you talk about bombers for a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So bombers are little Gnorps with jetpacks. They propel themselves into the air, and then they dive into the rock as hard as they can, which, you know, probably hurts the Gnorp a little bit, but it does a lot of damage to the rock, and spreads a ton of shards off of the rock as well. And they kind of fly pretty far, which is good, because then the Gnorps don't have to walk so far to go get them. We're going to be using bombers very strongly in over the next, or the course of the next, like, well, pretty much throughout the rest of the run, honestly. Eventually they'll be outmatched by some other abilities that we'll get later, but for right now they're kind of our primary damage doers.
Yeah, so because of how important runner backstop is like getting as many bombers as quickly as I can is kind of what's important here. Damage is scaling up. It's about to get to the point where the runners realize that they need to carry their weight. Mm-hmm. Okay, there it is. No?
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, reminder that the runner backstop increases the capacity that each runner can carry when the collection or the damage is, or the collection rate is less than 50% of how much damage is actually being done.
Yeah, so now I'll be able to do the weak spot weakness again, which is going to help get us a huge boost of money, because triggering the weak spots, that is a lot of damage, and the runners are not going to be able to keep up with that, so they're going to carry a lot. Let's get more damage out there, just for the sake of it.
Those little guys are trying so hard. Look at how tall those stacks are.
All right, then I've got something else that I need to make, because I have not really looked into all the other building options that I have. I'm actually waiting to build up to 4 Gnorps, because the next building is the archery range, and the archery range actually takes quite a few of them. In fact, I need 4 Gnorps in order to unlock it. So there we go. Oh, that was too much. I spent on one more housing than I should have. It's not a big deal. I'm waiting. I need the money to be at about 1337 because the arrows can be upgraded. You can get fire arrows or ice arrows, and for this run, I specifically want ice arrows. One moment. There we go. Ice arrows.
There we are.
Okay, now that I have those, we'll go ahead and get a few more bombers. So ice arrows, after 6 arrows, they will freeze the rock. The rock, when it is frozen, takes double damage. So this, as you can imagine, this is very useful, especially when you are able to time that freezing to make the rocks burst. Oh, but take a look at this bar. It's nearly full, and that pile's getting pretty big. What happens when the pile gets big enough?
The reclamation.
A compression has happened. The rock has decided that the pile has gotten too big, and it is reclaiming a bunch of the shards. But also, it just spat out something really interesting. This Zybellium. So at my research lab, I have created this hot air balloon to go capture the thing.
The Zybellium.
That's right. Oh, a weak spot, and it's frozen. Now the damage of that weak spot is doubled.
Wow, nice. Yeah, the Zybellium allows us to purchase even more exciting abilities for our Gnorps. Specifically, the next thing that that David will be purchasing with that Zybellium is the teleportation ability, which will allow the runner Gnorps to just teleport directly to the pile and not have to walk all the way. So we just need to increase the damage back up again, make the pile big enough, and then once we have the Zybellium, activate the teleportation, and those Gnorps are going to be collecting shards like nobody's business.
Yeah, but one thing to note, the balloon came from the lab, and it has to go all the way back to the lab before that Zybellium is available. And so in that sense, build order matters a lot. This is the only run that I will do in which the lab is not the first thing that I build. I will go ahead and buy a speed upgrade for the Gnorps, and I think at this point I just grab more runners because there's no point in doing much more damage. I need to get enough. Just in the limited time that I've been playing, I've gotten 2 talent points. I want 3. And so the teleport is going to help because I spend money on it, and you can see my runners are teleporting now, and they are getting shards really fast. They're no longer having to travel the entire way over. They're instead taking the time to teleport. And that gets us to 3 talent points very quickly. So we're going to prestige and start it over.
Second run completed.
Yeah. This third run is probably going to be one of the longest. There's quite a words. It is very difficult to speak. Okay, let's go. All right. The talents that are available to me now. Inspiration. Allow Gnorps to become empowered by inspirations. But bigger pile. You start with 5 more Gnorps, but the pile has to grow twice as tall before compression occurs. That's pretty bad. Then you've got Bathe in Fire. Bombers are faster when the rock is on fire. This will make us want to use fire on the rock. And Time Shift Delivery. Bombers with Time Shift Impact will propel all runners in the Arrow Maker forward in time. What's Time Shift Impact? We're going to find out about that this run. But for now, we're going to go ahead and start this over. We start with the Express, as we do. But since I got bigger pile, I have more Gnorps available, so we can actually put out 5 of these guys, and they are all going to gather a whole lot of shards before they come back.
All about that shard ramp.
So yeah, you can see how as the talent points accrue, this beginning starts to get faster and faster, and we start to have more tools available. House of Shards needs to go up now, and then I need 10 runners. 10 runners is fine. Then there's always the question here of, well, I'm going to build the research lab first because I'm going to be having the balloon collect like 4 Zybellium during this run, and I want it to have less distance to travel. So rock analysis lab comes first. Then after that point, you ask the question of what comes next. Do you buy the propulsion lab and start hiring bombers? Or do you wait for weak spot weakness to become available? And I don't know if that has an easy answer, because the Gnorp propulsion lab is 300 shards, but the weak spot weakness is 500 shards. Rock analysis lab. Oh, and while I do have plenty of Gnorps available, it's a very easy trap to fall into in this game that, oh, you have Gnorps available, you gotta spend them, you gotta employ them. It's something that you feel like you gotta do because you can't just leave them sitting around doing nothing. But that's a very easy way to use up all your resources and then find that you need resources that you don't have. You have to wait a very long time.
I was just gonna say. It adds so much time when you end up employing a Gnorp and then realize you needed it to build another building.
Yeah. So, and plus a whole lot of other stuff you need costs Gnorps. So it's not like I'm only employing them for running or bombing. For example, weak spot weakness, I said it costs 500 shards. It also costs 2 Gnorps. The propulsion lab, that costs 3 Gnorps. Archery range, that's 4. Alright, we've got a weak spot weakness. And I choose to do weak spot weakness first because it gets me a huge burst of money and I can pretty much afford the propulsion lab immediately after. Then
also minimizes the amount of time or space or distance that they have to walk, which is really nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. Plus, since I had the Gnorps, I could go ahead and just create the archery range. Now, this does mean that I don't have a lot of Gnorps available while the bombers are going up. But, you know, they will come into their own. One weird thing...
Girls.
Yeah, there is a talent that makes it so that buying arrows gives you more housing. But I'm not sure why, but every time I buy arrows in my plays, I get more Gnorps available anyways. I've just constructed a building called the Cocoa Cafe. Would you mind explaining what Mountaineers do?
I will do my best. The Mountaineers climb to the top of the mountain, and then you might have to help me a little bit on this one, because in the speedrun category, I believe we only ever employ the one. So you might need to take the lead on this.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, a Mountaineer jumps to the top of the pile and starts throwing shards forward, basically making it so that the runners have less distance to go. Now, my creating the Cocoa Cafe, cost 600 shards and 2 Gnorps, but it provided housing for 3 Gnorps, so it's a net gain, plus it does not contribute to the scaling costs of housing. Oh, but look, with so many bombers available, I'm now starting to get that extra bit of gathering. So I'm actually going to hold off on other spending for now and wait for money to stack up to 3,333. That's the point at which I can buy a speed upgrade for the runners. Oh, but yeah, the pile is having to grow a lot bigger before compression occurs, just because I grabbed that bigger pile talent. But it's a major downside for a talent. It's one you don't really want to be taking because compressions are really important to get. We'll do 2 more runners. Oh yeah. Zibellium collection. All right. The lab is a lot closer this time. But here's going to be a really fun thing. I bought the Cocoa Cafe, so I can hire mountaineers. I'm not going to hire any of them. I had 2 purposes for the Cocoa Cafe, neither of which was the primary purpose for which the building has. The first one was... yeah, that's kind of the way it is. I got some additional housing out of it, but then I'm going to note something else. By unlocking the Cocoa Cafe, the Runner Express, a new upgrade has become available, Break Time. And I can buy that with any Mountaineers, and it's something that I do want. Let's see. What am I going to do? Oh, that's right. The Zibellium's available, so I'm using Time Shift Impact instead. What does Time Shift Impact do? Bombers now shift back in time after striking the rock, setting up an immediate consecutive strike. If you watch the...
normal Gnorp things.
Yeah, if you watch the bombers, you'll notice that they're hitting the rock twice now when they hit it. But the time shift delivery talent that I have is also making the runners jump forward in time, so that's increasing their collection speed as well. I'm going to buy housing, but I'm going to keep a careful eye on that shard cost because, yeah, I think this amount of housing will be good for now. I've got an exact number of bombers in mind, which is about 28 to 29. And then I need about 12 runners for this part. So here's the thing with break time. I can grab it at any time now. The second I do, my Gnorps are going to slow way down. That's something to be very careful of. But I want to time it for when the rock is close to compressing. Alright, let's grab it now. You can see how slow they're getting now. But after the next compression, the Gnorps are now permanently faster.
They're very thankful that they were able to get a break from work. So now they work extra hard.
So yeah, that's 2 compressions down now. And yeah, this Zibellium, I'll try to coax it over so it's closer. But we're getting into what's going to be pretty much the longest part of the run. Let's see, if I get a Gnorp every 10 minutes, I can afford one more. Yeah, I gotta keep that Gnorp cost in mind. Because...
Shoutouts to the trans right shards, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. Yes. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to get another Gnorp automatically before what I really need the Gnorps for becomes available. There's an upgrade here, Ultra Boost. Yeah, right now, yeah, I can do it second time shift impact, so now the bombers hit the rock 3 times. Right now, my runners are keeping up with the damage output just fine, but I've only gotten 1 talent point from this. I might get a second one, but the next tier of stuff isn't available until 3 talent points, and I actually want to get 6 talent points on this run. So, Ultra Boost greatly increases the amount of damage that a bomber does. It is extremely useful. At this stage, it is extremely vital. It costs 150,000, so I'm just going to be vibing here for a bit. It also costs me 5 minutes. But, so while we wait for that, let's shift to the topic of conversation. I learned this game as part of the board boosters, and Zero Counts is one of the head admins of board boosters. So would you like to talk about board boosters for a bit?
I'd love to. Yeah, so Board Boosters is a speedrun group that myself, Zarek, and Bug Doctor put together, a couple other retro speedrunners. We put this group together in an effort to find speedrun boards that are not so densely populated and not kind of deserve some more eyes and more runners on their boards. We've been doing it for about 3 years now. Every other month, we select a game that is suggested by the community, and then we all get together and try to learn that run and put up times at the end of the month, and therefore boosting the said board. We've learned a lot of really cool runs, and a lot of games that I never would have even thought about speedrunning in that time. Yeah, if you want to check it out, if it's something that you're interested in, check out www.boardboosters.com, and there's a Discord link in there.
Yeah, thank you. And I want to add that we're about to select our game for the month of August, and we're going to be rolling that this Friday.
Yeah, we'll have an event on Friday where we talk about our previous boost, as well as spinning the wheel that will determine what game we're going to run in August. So, yeah, if you're new to speedrunning and you are always are looking for the right opportunity to get into the hobby, this is a really great place to do it. It's always fun to learn games as a community, and that's what we do.
Mm-hmm. All right, we've finally gotten that third compression. And so I'm again eyeing the money and the Gnorps, because what I intend to spend this Zybellium on is something that is not nearly as flashy, but is still very important and useful. Let me see. I think I need a few more runners, because now I'm not keeping up with this pile very well at all. The thing that I want costs 256,000 shards and 9 Gnorps and 1 Zybellium. It's pretty important that I get it. It's not... And then, in fact, it is this thing, additional housing. The Gnorps are getting crowded. We need more housing. Every third housing you build another for free, applies retroactively. So this greatly increases the number of Gnorps that we have available. And we really, really, really want that, because we're so limited. And this pile is growing big, sure, but I'm still only at 3 talent points. Now, every 3 talent points opens a new tier of talents, so I could prestige. The trouble is, the next tier of talents, they are extremely useful, they are very much needed, but they're not useful until endgame. So I end up going through the pain of waiting for Ultra Boost again by going for those. So instead, we are going to go with getting 6 talent points in this run, effectively cutting 1 run out. Now, all this additional housing is going to be going into getting a lot of bombers. We're going to bump up to like 50 to 60 or so. And let's see, I can afford Delivery Rush, which costs 2 Gnorps, but makes them go faster when they're near the stash. The other thing that I want is another speed upgrade, which costs about 166,000. This pile is going to compress soon. There we go. I don't think I need to actually get any more runners for this part, in that it's more important to get as many bombers as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is kind of the end stage of this run, because, yeah, we're hitting 4 talent points. With the use of this Zybellium, we're going to be able to hit 6 pretty quick. I just want to make sure that I have as many tools available as I can get. And... break. My runners aren't working anymore. They're taking a break. Yeah. This is a specific
They deserve it.
Yeah, this is a specific strategy. Basically, they're no longer going to collect from the pile. They're going to let the pile build. And that's because talent points are based on your collection rate. The collection rate only looks at the past minute or so. And so you stop and you let the pile build up. Because if you do not let the well, your runners are going to outpace the bombers, even though I have nearly 60 of them. And let's see, do I go for it? Yeah, let's go. All right, watch.
Time to work. I do love that the shards are still on fire when they put them in the stash.
That's pretty fun. But yeah, the runners now with teleportation and the speed upgrades are working faster than the bombers do, so they will eventually run out of pile. So it's important that you build up that pile, and you try to build that pile as quickly as you can. But let's see, we're going to get to 6 talent points pretty soon. Okay.
Yeah, look how fast that went. You wait on 3 for a long time, but that 3 to 6, once you fire off, it goes very quickly.
I love the comments in chat. I have no idea what is happening, but I am entertained. That's
perfect. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to.
Okay. Quick reassignment of a whole bunch of talent points. What have I missed? I'm missing one. What is the one that I'm missing? Probably.
Yeah, Frostfire. Yep.
Okay, a whole bunch of talents. It's hard to describe what all of them do, but the most important one is Frostfire, which allows you to put the rock on fire and ice at the same time. It's really, really, really good. I have also gotten rid of Bigger Pile. One of my passive talents now allows me to click anywhere in the pile rather than having to click out on the top of it, which makes it a whole lot easier for me to click on these things and move them toward the stash. So with 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to just, yeah, this beginning starts to go a lot quicker. Let's see, we'll do House of Shards next, and then I think I can just go straight into the rock analysis lab. I might be able to do, let's see, do that. We'll do weak spot, weakness. Oh, and we start with 1 Zybellium immediately. So that's pretty handy. Oh, don't build any more housing until I get the Gnorp Propulsion Lab, because any new Rocketeers that I train have to come from the Gnorp Propulsion Lab. So yeah, don't slow that one down. Oh.
Yeah, we should probably talk about rockets, huh?
We will get to rockets in just a moment. For now, archery range, Cocoa Cafe. All right, there we go. All right, so this is going to start much the same way, but the beginning is, of course, more accelerated than it has been, and you know what? I need a lot more bombers. I'm trying to go for the fire arrows immediately. We have seen time shift impact. That's available now. Did I do the Cocoa Cafe? Yes, I did. Yeah, I'm kind of jumping back and forth between different things and trying to make sure I have everything. There's a very useful talent at play here. I grabbed popcorn, which means damage done by fire is now thrown all the way over.
Has a much farther range, yeah.
Yeah. By itself,
it like triples it up.
Yeah. By itself, it's not all that great, but it's going to be very useful when combined with Frostfire. I'm a little behind there. But I did hire 1 Mountaineer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there we go. The rock is frozen. Now it's also on fire. All of the damage that it took while it was frozen got thrown all the way over here. that is what Frostfire does. It is really good. Like one of the best possible talents you could get. So this is something that the developer of the game didn't really see coming. The idea that you would go to your archery range, select ice, and then switch back to fire. Yeah, a little bit of an oversight there, but, well, what are you going to do? The Zybellium's coming in. This Zybellium is going toward King of the Pile.
Speaking of the developer, Board Boosters actually had the awesome opportunity to be able to interview Mikos, the creator of this game. That's over on our YouTube channel. Just search up Board Boosters Gnorp Apologue and you'll find that interview. It's fun to see how they reacted to us discovering a lot of this stuff in this game.
Alright, so I created a building called Gun vs. Rock. At Gun vs. Rock, I hired this Gnorp with a gun. By itself, it's not the best, but I have a talent called Future to the Back. What Future to the Back does is to allow your gun-wielding Gnorps to shoot arrows instead of, well, bullets. And that's useful because this guy is shooting fire arrows now. Now I don't have to shift the archery range back and forth between, well, between ice and fire. Now I can have it just camp on ice. Zybellium's coming in, so that's going to go toward a second time shift impact. We're going to build up to 150,000 a lot more quickly than we did in the previous run. In fact, I'm beginning to wonder if it's time to do a break time. Yeah, let's do break
Pretty
time.
close.
There we go.
Yeah, wow, perfect timing. So we're going for 3 more talent points in this run before we begin the final run that will take us to the end game. There are still a couple more talents that we want to implement before we gun for the end of the game. Or should I say arrow for the end of the game?
Oh, I didn't think of that. That's a good one.
That's pretty good.
Oh, there we go. We're getting another Zybellium really quickly. Yeah, another compression. Yeah, this fourth run is going to start to look somewhat like what the final run might look like, but I'm lacking a couple of the tools that I need to actually achieve victory. Yeah, let's go ahead and bump that capacity up. Oh, and one of the passive talents I got puts this light bulb on top of the lab that allows me to draw the Zybellium a little bit closer. Cut down on some of the travel time. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and grab Geek Protocol. That gives the Gnorps a 10% chance to throw the stuff back to the stash instead of going all the way back. I'm not actually going to use it too much, but it unlocks the YX1-AB, which is a pretty good building to have. I need...
Yeah, some folks in chat are wondering how close we are to missiles.
Okay.
Very close.
Yeah. Did I actually build? Yes. All right, let's go ahead and build this thing. And then I built the garden. Good. Okay. Yeah, the garden is one of those things that does help you do a lot more damage, but it takes a while before the flowers actually grow in. So it's very useful, but it's delayed. Oh, but one thing that isn't delayed, the flower garden unlocks concentration, which further increases the amount of damage that my bombers do. And I think I need to go for another compression here. No, maybe I need to go for more money. I'm not sure yet. Break. Take a break. Okay, no, I need to be increasing damage output, so we're gonna get 10 more bombers. But the YX1-AB, Geek Protocol unlocks this because when your Gnorps throw stuff back, some of it's gonna go into here, and so you've got this cute little guy here stepping on the button and sending out rockets.
There's our rockets.
Yeah. Oh, a couple of upgrades here. Enriched puke, because once these things come into effect, like, they'll start adding damage multipliers onto the rock. And then there's some...
one of the talents that...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to mention one of the talents that we have is Project Constellations, which allows all of the rockets to sort of hover for 20 seconds until they all attack at the same time, which leads to massive damage.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, on its own, that doesn't seem very useful. Let's go pocket rockets. Now every bomber is also throwing out rockets. This is where...
Where do they keep all of those rockets?
In their pockets, of course. Where else?
They're the pocket rockets in their rocket pockets.
Alright, this is the point at which damage output is starting to get pretty high. So it's time to start going toward getting those 3 talent points. But yeah, Project Constellation, normally the rockets go immediately toward the rock, but Project Constellation, you can see the bar filling up in the talent, and it's doing so somewhat slowly, but eventually all the rockets go up, which means they're all going to hit it at the same time. So that's your cue to freeze the rock. I'll go over here and start getting some upgrades for the YX1-AB, and so that it's also putting out more rockets. It helps a lot more than you would think.
Oh, it's so satisfying seeing that rock freeze right before those rockets hit it.
Yeah. But yeah, so getting a bunch of runners now, because we're about to hit 3 talent points, because the rocket pockets are really, really, really good. But I don't quite have enough tools to actually beat the game yet. I'm missing quite a few things, actually, but I just need one more really important thing, which is why I'm prestiging again in order to use the final 3 talent points. So the core of this run, we're building up to 14 talent points. 14 talent points is what I need in order to do the winning run. At 14, I'm going to do... what's the last one? It's this one. The most important thing is this passive talent, unlocking the shrine. All the other really important stuff that we've grabbed a few small things, arrows doing slightly more damage, mountaineers having hiking buddies, and there's also this one, reclamation mitigation. The rock sometimes recalls shards to it, and we want to make it not do that. So yeah, we're doing one final run here, and this is going to look somewhat like speedrun mode, although speedrun mode has, let's see, speedrun mode has 20 talent points, so they have a few additional tools that that won't come into play here. So this is going to be slightly slower than speedrun mode would be. We're going Rock Analysis Lab, and we're going Gnorp Propulsion Lab. Build that immediately because it's taking so long to build the lab. Vibellium Collection, and Weak Spot Discovery.
Speedrun mode allows you to start with all of the talents available to select from, and I can't remember how many talent points you get
20.
In speedrun mode. 20. Okay, so you get to select a lot of boosts.
We'll go ahead and do the Cocoa Cafe, and then focus on even more housing. Get the bombers out.
To put in perspective, the speedrun mode current world record is just under 8 minutes. But also, to put in perspective, this game was intended to be completed over the course of, maybe a couple of weeks or so. David has managed to, to absolutely destroy that notion, and has the world record under an hour.
Yeah. Now, we do go by in-game time, so that's under an hour in-game time, or at least that was the original goal. But if we go by RTA, it's still under an hour, which is something that I'm really proud that I got done. All right, on the first compression, we get the arrows out, and what are we gonna do? What am I gonna do? I'm going to hire a mountaineer. That's what I'm gonna do, because I want King of the Pile. King of the Pile just makes it so that one mountaineer becomes King of the Pile, and when they're King of the Pile, they increase your damage multiplier up here. It's not very flashy, but it's exactly what we need. Let's see. For now, we're gonna...
By a lot, too. It's like 8, I think.
Actually, yeah, I think it is 8. That's quite a lot. Oh, that's right. I was going to do King of the Pile. All right, every invocation of Frostfire here is going to throw a whole bunch of shards that way. Oh, I can do gun versus rock now. And that's something you want fairly early. Yes, thank you, game. I'm doing great. How about you? All right. Yeah, the gun Gnorps get increasingly expensive too, so you won't have very many of them. But you know what? I think I have enough now to park these guys on ice. Let's see. I'm going to go for break time if I can. Yeah, go for it.
There you go. They don't really need that long of a break, They just need a quick sip of coffee at the Coke.
You have earned yourself a
bar, and then they come back.
And there you go. I hope you enjoyed your micro break. Anyone play Satisfactory? That's a fun one. All right, just draw this over for a bit. I think in general, it's probably a really good idea to draw your Zybelium as close to this thing as you can. But like the balloon is chasing it down. It takes a while, and sometimes most of the time I have other things to do. All right, but we're gonna get this ultra boost really soon. Right now, damage is the limiter, and we'll do another time shift impact. 2 time shift impacts early, and as much as I want to grab more, I can't spare the Zybelium for much more at this point. All right, let's go ahead and build that up. I've built up plenty of housing, but this is where Zybelium ordering starts to get a little bit weird, because in the earlier runs, I needed to grab additional housing early in order to have enough Gnorps in order to do anything. But in this run, my money is building up so quickly that I don't really know that I need to grab additional housing just yet, because my money is building up quickly enough that now I can start to afford some of these other things. In particular, the garden is going to come up. We want that because the garden takes a very long time to come online. Turn off power. I don't like power here. The garden has like 3 different buffs that it can provide. It has directors that increase your multiplier. It has acid that doubles damage done to the rock. And then it's got power or Hulk-like things that kind of just throw all the shards forward. I don't want that. It's not very useful. I'm building up to 1 million again because the shrine costs 1 million and is the other thing that we have unlocked that is both very useful and also on a bit of a time delay.
Yeah, that's gonna greatly increase the amount of damage output by our rockets. Everybody's favorite weapon in Gnorp.
Yeah, and then I want to do Find the Chosen, but I'm close to affording additional housing. Let's do additional housing, get that out of the way. The Gnorps will come. They seek jobs. For 9, we have Find the Chosen. There's a sword in the stone here, so you gotta find the Gnorp that is destined to do that, and they're gonna go through 9 Gnorps killing them before they find the one that does it. It will take a while to come online, but it's worth it. Oh, you know what? I think I want Heat Protocol money. Let's go ahead and up that capacity. Then we can go ahead and do the Academy. The Academy has drones that help collect shards, but I only grab it because it actually increases the amount of housing that I have. See, waiting for that money to... Oh, we got an acid splash. Acid will double damage. Did I build the rocket thing? I did. Okay, let's get the bombers their additional damage. Then we need... You know, given that acid is starting to come through, I think I need to actually buy the thing that increases acid damage. So we'll go ahead and do that.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's fairly cheap as well.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start getting those arrows going back and forth because now I need to time my ices. Once the rock unfreezes, it has a cooldown before you can freeze it again. So once rockets are in play, you really do want to make sure that the rock is frozen when the rockets hit. You're going to go up. You are still looking for a chosen one. And what are we going to do here? We are going to do pocket rockets. Oh, and I'm going to do a few more Mountaineers. Not because I actually need what the Mountaineers do. Do I not have hiking buddy? Okay, whatever. I'll just hire one more. Can I do it now? Yeah. Okay, now Mountaineers are also throwing out pocket rockets.
I was gonna say, I thought you had it.
You... Here, I'm gonna wait for this guy. There's a Y rocket upgrade and an X rocket upgrade. Y rockets make it so that when you shoot rockets out of the base, more of them come out. But X rockets make it cheaper. What else have we got? We'll go ahead and do amplified observation, but I don't think it's really that important.
Yeah, what we're building up to right now is the last upgrade at the House of Shards, which is the railgun. The railgun allows us to purchase the Finale, which is a giant missile that will attack the rock and fire off the end of the game.
Yeah. We've got a strategic stop the runners so that the pile can actually build big enough to trigger a compression. Oh yeah, I have 1 Zybellium available right now. I'm not about to spend it. I'm saving it. For something
Save it for a rainy day.
It's for something really important. See, right now, in order to actually make use of timing the ice with the rockets, I'm setting these arrows back to normal. There are these Zybellium arrows. Boom, we're gonna use those now. So the Zybellium arrows increase the amount of damage done to the rock. So the strategy here is we're going to largely park these guys on Zybellium arrows, but then when Project Constellation says it's time for the Rocket Nation to attack, we switch to ice to freeze the rock and then switch back.
Yeah, this is usually about the time when video encoders just give up.
They go on strike.
Yeah, the video encoders are having a break time like the runners are. And again, I'm putting
you know how well your run is going for how garbled up your video feed is.
I just realized I never actually bought a cord power. The whole reason I got the shrine. That would explain why this isn't building as quickly as I'd hoped. Yeah, the whole reason we got the shrine was to get this thing that says damage unaffected by the multiplier is now affected by the multiplier, which is the rockets. The rockets are affected by the multiplier. Yeah, there's so much going on in the run that it's really, really easy to miss something. So there we go.
A lot of stuff to keep track of.
That's another compression. Then we're on kind of what I believe is the final compression. There's 2 Zybelium left, and one of them is going to be used on a 3rd time shift impact. But then there's going to be another bit where the rock reclaims some of the shards that it throws out, and it does this at an especially pronounced rate on the final tier that we're on. So we need to spend 1 Zybelium on a tool that will make it so that the rock does that less. Yeah, I can buy the railgun, which costs 26 million. Then the Zybelium just came in. We'll use it on time shift impact because at this point we got nothing better to spend it on, and we need 262 million in order to do the finale. Oh, the Zybelium's in. We're going to spend that on Reclamation Nullification, which is available at this lab. Reclamation Nullification. When shards are collected, reclamation is prevented at an equivalent amount. It helps build up this pile a bit. So we're going to need 2 things for the finale. First, we need to build up to 262 million and plus 2 Gnorps and actually unlock the finale. But then third, we need the pile to be big enough to actually be able to trigger a compression, although we've done all the compressions that we can. There's no more available. So yeah, that's basically it. We're building
basically
a
just
pile.
playing the waiting game at this point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's no acid on the boulder right now. There's a flower power thing here. Doubles the speed of growth of flowers. It makes the garden a lot more useful, but I'm still limited in the amount of Zybelium that I have in new game mode, which means I can't spare one for flower power.
A little more helpful in speedrun mode.
Alright, the pile is big enough. Now I just need the money, which should come very shortly. And again, I need 2 Gnorps, so keep that in mind. Time is going to come up when I select the finale, which should be very soon. We got a big pile there. And time.
Now you get to marvel at the finale as the Gnorps build a giant rocket. Ride it into the rock.
So yeah, this run came about because well, we picked the board boosters for we picked the Gnorp Apologue for board boosters. We originally intended to do speedrun mode, and if I remember right, the leaderboard didn't exist before we picked up this run, although there were existing videos
not at all.
that managed to beat speedrun mode in 8 minutes. But someone, and I don't remember who, was like, what if we did a new game from scratch? I mean, someone put up the category, and I picked it up and ran with it. And
Yeah, shoutouts to Latalis Rose, who selected this game for board boosters. This was honestly one of the most fun board boosts that we had done. So unique.
And yeah, I'm sub-hour in-game time. I'll take it. I can see on the layout that I'm not sub-hour RTA, but that's all right. I know I can do it, and I can see my bit rate. So thank you so much, Church and Sarge, for bringing me on. Thank you so much, Zero Counts, for joining me on this.
Absolutely.
You got anything else?
No, just thank you very much for having me, and boardboosters.com. Check out that website. There's a Discord link under the Join Us header.
And with that, take it away.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here, for showing this off. I sent it to you during the break, but I knew very little about this game. I saw that you submitted it. I took about a look at it for about like 15 seconds, and I was like, all right, I'm in. I don't know what I'm about to see, but I am in. I'm down. Yeah, this is a great, fun little game. It's great what y'all have been doing to raise the boards on games like this. The game looks super fun. This is a really cool game. I'm glad I had y'all on to show this off. Thank you so much. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the run and a little bit just now, I grabbed this from the community submissions. If you want to show off a run on the GDQ, you can always do that. You can go submit over at gdq.gg/hotfix. We do have more runs coming up for you. Just a quick reminder before we go to the break to get ready for the next run. You can always catch up on GDQ Hotfix shows and marathons at youtube.com/gamesdonequick. If you're watching this on YouTube, consider liking, subscribing, and becoming a channel member to support GDQ. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back with Sworn in just a few minutes here. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. This is the Community Grab Bag. This is a show where I've grabbed some runs from our community submissions, and I've, asked them to be on the show. If you didn't know, you can submit your own runs to be on the GDQ Hotfix. You can go to gdq.gg/hotfix to submit. And also, just as a reminder, if you are looking to get more involved with the GDQ community, you can always join the official Games Done Quick Discord and add the Hotfix role to get updates on upcoming events, chat with staff, and more. Use !Discord in Twitch chat for an invite and for more information. And with all of that said, we have Sworn here. I will hand it over to our runner and commentators. Let everybody introduce themselves.
Thank you so much, Sarge. Hi, everyone. I'm James Swan. I'm getting deja vu here. It's good to be back on GDQ Hotfix again. Today I'm running Sworn. You might have seen Sworn pretty darn recently at SGDQ. I think I've got a commentator who knows a thing or two about that, possibly two commentators who would know a thing or two about that, if y'all would like to introduce yourselves.
Perhaps. Hello, folks. My name is Curtis KRT, but you can call me Curry for short. And yes, indeed, I did run Sworn during the latest Summer Games Done Quick 2026. So happy to be back here commentating for James Swan, who is my co-op partner in the game. So thank you so much.
And I'm Selkith Wind, or Sel for short. I was on the couch for Curry's run. I also kind of run this game, but only with these two, and I get heavily carried because I have like 6 hours in this game. Speedrunning a roguelike, but you have that few hours in it is definitely an experience, but it's very fun. You are in for a treat.
Yeah, and this will be a Sworn all characters run, also known as 4-character. We'll be going through the Monk, the Rook, the Spectre, and the Vigilante. So if you want a nice little sampler platter on the easiest difficulty, Squire difficulty, because I am not nearly as brave as Curry Toss, I will not be attempting Sovereign today. Welcome to the show. We're gonna have some good vibes and fast times, and I think we're about ready to get started. Everyone ready to jump in?
Yep. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's get into this in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, have fun.
Alrighty. First character up is the Monk. Feels weird to be able to kind of commentate my own run. I'm so used to playing rhythm action titles. But with the Monk, we're going to be utilizing a spell called the Black Hole. As you see, the utility of it is almost immediate, where we can just yoink enemies wherever we want on the map, and we just get to pull them around, and it does a lot of damage. We're just going to be focusing on that, and we're taking Gog Magog. Curry, you want to tell them about Gog Magog and why we love Gog Magog so much?
Gog is our favorite Fae. This is, you have a selection of 1 out of 7 or 8-ish Fae in the game. Each fate provides a unique set of blessings, and Gog's specialty is stunning. So anytime you hit an enemy with Gog blessing enabled, and you land enough hits on it, there's a little stun bar underneath the enemy's HP bar. Once that fills up, the enemy is stunned and cannot move. And once that happens, you're just free to thrash on them. And some blessings that you get later down the line will actually enable you to ramp up your damage while the enemy's in a stunned state. So it really is a build that provides both crowd control and ramping damage as the run progresses. So we're going to see a lot of Gog for this first character at least.
Yep.
Yeah, and there are in fact 8 total Fae, Curry.
Though we do usually only see 7 in a given run, just because of how RNG likes to be evil to us. We can kind of force some Fae into our loot pool. You saw me drink a potion before entering this room to force Bov, the purple deity that I just took a blessing from, into the loot pool. We had seen Bov before on an earlier banner, but I wanted to force Gog Magog's blessing first. I wanted to make sure that I had everything that I needed for this run, because this is an RTA run. Most runs on the board are timed in IGT, but this one is RTA. We got an early Sword in the Stone, which is very nice. Getting this before the first area boss is actually a massive time save. And you'll see why, hopefully, in just a second here. Let's see. Discharge, Echo Strike, Morning Star, Greater Smite. No. Collapse, nope. Please, game. Event Horizon. That's a lot of dice burned through early. That is a lot of dice, but we have the basic building blocks of our build for this character in place. Event Horizon is the bread and butter of this build because it causes my spell to fire twice now. So it'll fire once, and then once it's fired, it will fire again on a slight delay in the same area, which means that I am doing 4 instances of stagger in a given area whenever it fires off, and the second instance that it fires off in, while it is lower damage, it does have the benefit of continuing to do the same amount of stagger even at lower damage. And it'll continue to yoink enemies in, so if some enemies need a little extra damage on them, I don't have to fire off a second instance of damage at them. I'm just going to go ahead and take Mighty Touch there. That's my light attack. I'm going to take the Fey Blessing there. I'm going to pass on Cleona. That's the worst one I could have seen from there. That's the worst one I could have seen from there. Great for casual play, not great for speedruns. One of the few that we genuinely... we genuinely do not want to see that deity ever in this run for any of these characters, which, well, that's bad luck. We can take her in a pinch, but it does not lead to anything beneficial for us in the long run in terms of combinations or damage scaling. It just reduces the amount of damage that enemies do to us, and hopefully we're not taking any damage, or at least not taking too much damage anyway. If I'm not mistaken, though, that should lead to us having a higher rarity on the next blessing we take. So that should be useful. I will take the Trial of Corruption. That just means I get, for me, more or less a free item. It just means some danger in the next room. I will be taking the event banner here. Curry, you want to explain event banners?
I could, or Cell could also as well.
Especially because we have 45 seconds to do this. That's the worst possible event I could have seen in the first area. Especially with Meteor Shower going. Okay. Cell, go for it.
This is a very special room. Sorry, give me a second.
All good, all good.
Yeah, so essentially here, the event is, there's different event rooms you can get, and we rolled unluckily here for RTA because this is survive for 45 seconds. You get a reward for every foe that you kill, but it's literally just an auto-scroller. We are stuck here in this room for 45 seconds, which is not great for a speedrun.
Yep, we're always hoping for either the crystals, the Luna drops, or the maze. But hey, we did get Gog Magog, which is nice. I'm going to take Mighty Strike there, which takes out all of our default blessings. So that's one single blessing out of the loot pool from every single character. We're guaranteed to get some form of advancement now for every single blessing that we take, which is always good to see. We love to see that. Alrighty.
Boss time.
Yep, we will only see one boss in each stage. We don't have the different variants of bosses in this run because of the difficulty that we are running on. So we do not have the alternative boss that I know most runners like to see on higher difficulties. We just have Gawain here. And yes, I do know that we're on a little bit of low HP, but we have all of our building blocks in place for this run, so even if we take a death early on, I'm not too worried. And we should actually get some tools later on that will play into low health if we build this right. A little slow going out of the first area, but considering we took 45 seconds of time loss on that event banner, we're not doing too poorly. I will swap my
I did something
over to Gog Magog, I think, as I go through here.
Yeah, I did something similar during my run at GDQ, where I purposefully took events banners at the beginning of my run, even though they're like 45-second time losses, because I just needed those blessings. Everything is RNG in the game, or most things are RNG in the game, so whenever I saw a Gnorp banner, I was like, yep, gotta take that one, even though it's a little bit of a time loss there. Just, I need my build to start ramping. That's really, the faster you can ramp your damage, the quicker you'll clear rooms, and the higher of a chance you'll actually beat the run.
Yep, and we're actually seeing some of the advancement that we want to see already. There's Bera early on, which is very nice. That should start getting our mana ramping. I am hoping to see Gog Magog so I can get some of our proper damage scaling going with some of our long-term blessings, but Bera will help a lot with that in terms of short-term damage scaling. So I'm going to go ahead and take Spellcaster just for the damage. Nothing I need there. Let me drink the potion for Gog Magog because that will persist. I do not need to worry about that. Taking a mini boss room here, as hopefully I'll be able to do this pretty darn fast. Yep. So that's the main boss down. No new enemies will spawn. And then those two flew together, so nice and fast. If I can actually pick up the crystals, that would be nice. And into the shop, yeah. We'll just take that as a skip for an encounter. Not really anything I can pick up there. I will be taking the gold to guarantee myself a blessing next time, though.
Right, because we're doing this RTA, whereas, like James said earlier, I'm used to doing things in using IGT. So shops are still time saves in an RTA run. They're a little bit less so because, you know, the actual timer is still running, so you do have to not loiter around and go window shopping. You do have to be a bit expeditious, but yeah, just still making it work.
Yep, the largest
Mid-boss
challenge of the RTA asset of this run is making choices quickly. You don't get to sit and linger on your choices for a long amount of time. You have to make that decision in the moment, otherwise you're going to be losing a lot of time. In IGT runs, you can see time stretch for a few minutes. I have to take the banner. I have to take the banner to take Gog Magog. That has the potential to be 45 seconds of time loss again. Okay, crystals. I like crystals. We're okay with that. This is just a matter of where do they spawn. And hopefully getting some good luck here. Oh, that's bad luck. Okay. Go for that one. That'll just be a couple of enemies up at the top there. Alright, and then finish these two off here. And then that one there with the reach from the spell didn't quite hit. That's fine. That's about as fast as that can go, and we'll take Gogmagog. Press the attack would be nice, but I need to reroll. Flawless will be better. I hear the mini shop opening up, but I don't want to waste the time going down for it when I'm already by the exit, especially since I want to try and build a little more gold.
Okay, this remote. Oh,
Let's
got a
see.
rift.
I'm going to go ahead and take Merlin. Merlin is slower than Morgana with less benefits, but it is a guaranteed buff with no disadvantages tied to it. So no matter what I get here, it will help me in the long term. I just have to move as quickly as possible here. So if I get movement speed will help. If I get gold collection will help. I'm really hoping for spell damage here, to be honest. I'm not too worried about taking damage here.
Maybe you go for the damage.
If I take damage, that's fine. Spell, perfect. Not
there it is. There it is.
Second thought there, and we'll go ahead and take gold. If I take the gold here, that will put me at 340 gold, which means I can take both blessings in the shop because I have the token flipped in the main world that allows me to get discounted shops, which is nice. Whew. You're starting to see, chat, that just as the last run before us was a lot of math, this run too is math.
Unless roguelikes, though. Honestly,
yes.
As a roguelike runner, yeah, no, that's just roguelikes for you.
And we wouldn't have it any other way.
I guess we wouldn't, would we?
Ooh, Goblin, give me the treasure. Yes, extra gold. So we're now at a lot of gold. What do we have here? Ooh, nothing I really want. I'll take Steel Resolve just to get the blessing out of the loot pool. And we'll just head on into the shop. Let's see what we get here. Stretch out the hands in the loading screen. I will take Bera and I'll save. I will go ahead and take Spell Thief for now, especially since it's at an upgraded rarity. Spell Thief is the fastest economy for regaining your mana, since it's tied to how many hits you do to an enemy. Alright, Percival.
Second boss.
Go ahead and talk about Percy for me.
Sure. Sir Percy here has a lance, not to be confused with Sir Lancelot, but he has a predefined attack pattern. I mean, I kept calling Sir Percival Sir Lancelot on multiple occasions. I'm not going to this time, but yeah, he has a lance that he primarily uses here, that he might use if James stops stunning him.
Yep.
Or you know, we just kill him anyway, and that doesn't matter.
I guess we should call Percival Lance a little? Instead of Lance a lot?
Wow.
Okay.
Did we stagger him way too much? He just, I don't know. He's too slow. Alright. Swap over to the Berserker Brute. I said we'll swap over to the Berserker Brew if I can actually menu. The greatest challenge in every speedrun, menuing. You wanted to know if this game was parkour or menus? This game is menus.
This is menuing? I would have picked this up as a parkour game.
This particular level is
It's like
parkour.
50-50.
This particular level is parkour. I mean, this... Hey, Chad, I heard you like water stages.
Yeah, welcome to
let's
Deep
see.
Harbor.
Yeah. Let's see, is this Merlin again? What is the next stage?
Gonna pass it? Okay.
No, I'm not going to. I'm going
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna risk it.
All right.
It should be faster. It should be faster. Keyword should.
Should.
It's also nice. We get to
Well,
we get to see
you go
the Fey Realm,
Yes.
which if you watched Curry's run at SGDQ, you would have seen this because we got the Morgana % upgrade. We're not doing Morgana % in this. We're just doing pure any % We're defeating King Arthur 4 times, once with each of the characters. So it's kind of nice to get to see this area because this area is really pretty and really aesthetic, really terrifying for someone who's really inexperienced, but really beautiful.
Yes, it is. Spell again. All right, that is very cool.
Spell one. Wow.
We are very fortunate because Curry, I'm sure you've noticed we have not gotten Bone Collector yet.
No.
We are actually without Bone Collector, we would technically be very underdamaged for this run if not for those 2 spell upgrades. But between the damage shield that we keep getting and the buffs from the Merlin blessings, we're actually more or less on par with what we'd be looking for. Oh, I didn't see the gold until too late, so we will not be able to get both blessings if we want them. It's just going to be a matter of, do I want either of them? I do want that, so I will go ahead and I will take Monowell, I think. Having the 4th blessing will be, or the 4th mana charge will be more beneficial, I think, for now. Especially in this particular area.
Does anybody want to explain what Bone Collector actually is for anybody?
Yeah, I have that. I have that right here because I have notes. So there are some blessings that are called dual blessings. They are unique effects by combining 2 different fae. And you need 2 blessings from different fae in order to unlock the dual blessing for those 2. So Bone Collector is a combination of Gog Magog and Bob's effects. And so with Bone Collector, you get plus 1% total damage per enemy killed for the rest of the run, up to a max of 100%. So as you can probably tell, we would like to obviously get that early on. And hang on, is this Morgana Rift?
Yes, this is the third portal that I have seen.
Okay.
This is, what is the RNG? RNG for this run, I cannot tell if it is blessed or cursed, but it is certainly something. Okay, light attack, move faster. Okay, I don't care about my heavy attack.
So to explain the difference between Merlin and Morgana, we've seen 2 Merlin ones where...
What is going on?
James was having to stand in those circles to clear them out. You got a moderate damage buff without any debuffs for Merlin, but for Morgana ones, you get a huge damage buff with a slight debuff to another stat. Had to destroy stationary pillars, obviously not a problem, and based on James' reaction, clearly was very much worth it.
Movement speed is going to be very good for this character. It wasn't that good, all things considered, and the banner, of course, is hecking me over. So 45 more seconds of time loss, making for a total of 1 minute and 30 seconds of time loss in this first run. But that's honestly not bad. For the monk, that's not bad.
No, the monk is very slow.
That will honestly lead to good things for us. This also gives me time to scout out the split here, so I can see that there will be potential exits on both sides. You can see if an exit will be viable or not based on whether or not the door is broken here. So as you can see, the door here is fully intact. There aren't any visible broken parts. So both sides here have open doors that we will be able to exit through. Gog Magog, give me something. Hey, Bone Collector.
There's Bone Collector!
I will take it now rather than not have it at all. We'll take gold just in case we end up seeing Luke down the line. So we will have some percentile damage scalability here at the end of the run. And we're already just ripping and tearing our way through the end stages of this run, so shouldn't be much time left. And hey, another Gog Magog blessing, so that will be even more damage on top of this. We will be a little behind coming out of this first split, but not so far behind that I think it will cause us any real issue. Especially because I decided to, read the SRC page and read the rules for this category, and discovered that I was splitting late on every single split I was doing. And apparently I can save like 10 seconds in every single split. So yay. Read the rules on the SRC
for reading the
pages.
Rules. Yes, as a moderator for many SRC pages, we made the rules for a reason. Please read them. Please make your local SRC moderator happy. Read the rules.
Please.
I wasn't breaking any rules, I was just failing to follow them to the full extent. Let me go ahead and take Collector, I suppose.
So you skipped the Gog blessing here.
I will, because I mean, if I can take the Luke potion next, and if I take the Luke potion in the next area, I can take the banner, and I can hopefully get greed, which will then allow me to roll for extra percentile damage at the end, which will compensate for a lot of the damage that I'm not doing from Bone Collector. So it's just basically math. TLDR chat, math.
Math?
You thought this was a speedrunning show, but it's actually a math lesson.
Hey, I'm an appreciator of math. It's not my strongest suit, but I still appreciate math.
I know.
Look, it's better than Excel sheets.
I mean,
You're not
Excel
wrong.
is a useful tool for, like, looking at very basic data sets. I still stand by this. For all other applications, sure, use another program, but Excel, sure, why not?
Yep.
That's my soapbox. Thank you.
Going from Excel to the ex-king of Camelot, we have King Arthur.
Hey. Bye, King Arthur.
Yep. And we just skip all of King Arthur's text. He's a corrupt king. He's evil. We're gonna overthrow a king here. Chat, y'all like overthrowing corrupt monarchs?
Will you lead, Abomination? Or will you croak?
We really like it in this game, so we're gonna be doing it 4 times throughout the course of this run. That'll be coming up here pretty shortly.
You are destined for failure, Abomination.
Just kinda gotta go through this auto-scroller of enemies here. Ow, how dare you. There's the
I'm
banner
so used
looking
to,
Fail.
like, looking at the corruptions on each of the selections you have, and then they're just
Yeah.
not here, because this is on
Yes,
Squire.
this is on Squire, so there are no corruptions. Hey, greed at a higher level, even better. And that'll give us extra damage, so... greed just allows me to deal extra damage for every 50 gold that I have. Which doesn't sound like much when you think that, it's 4% for 50 gold. That's not great, but then you look and see I have 400 gold currently. That adds up very quickly. Curry, can you do the math in your head real quick, because I'm currently fighting enemies?
So what, you have 415 gold, and you said you got the buff that gets the
4%.
damage increase?
4% right now, yeah. I got it at uncommon, so it's 4% instead of 3%.
Oh, it's not uncommon. Okay, got
Yeah.
it.
So I will also poke my nose over here. It's not a sacrifice shrine. Throne room.
All right, it's time to fight King Arthur.
Let's go.
Yep, we will be splitting as soon as King Arthur is dead and going back to the main menu and reloading in. Because we're allowed to do that. I read the rules. We're allowed to do that. I should have read the rules earlier, because I was waiting for his full death cutscene and menuing out through the Grail like a standard run ending would. But no, I don't have to do that. I could have just been skipping that and going faster.
Once again,
So, yay,
read
the
your
rules.
SRC rules.
Hey, okay.
It's phase 1
Yep.
down.
Phase 2 up next.
Which tripped me up. It only has 2 phases.
It does
Why is there
now.
not a third
since-
phase?
There used to be a third phase, and then there was an update, so now the third phase is boss rush mode exclusive.
I
It
see.
threw off a lot of runners too, and that's why our SRC boards are update split. So that is run 1 down. Arthur is done. And now we are on to the Rook. We are on to the second character. That was a bit of a slow first run, but hey, that's okay.
The monk
honestly-
is just slow.
The Monk is slow, and we had 3 different banners that gave us over a minute and a half of time loss, close to about 2 minutes. With the Rook, I will actually just be taking Gog Magog. I want to force Gog Magog, no matter what, with the Rook, because the Rook just is a tank. You probably saw the exact build that I will be using in Curry's run at GDQ. So,
Whoa!
yeah, I'll just kind of let Curry talk about this one. Because Curry just beat my Squire time with this build, and I need to take my time back.
Sure did. I got that run in, and it's like, wow, this is some great luck. You'll be happy to see that.
It really was. It's pure RNG.
It is, and that's just, like Sel was saying earlier, that's just roguelikes in general. So,
It do be roguelikes. Where is this last
This
enemy?
is
Of course, it's over here.
Yeah, this is the Rook with the halberd weapon. So the Rook is the slower of the characters, just like you saw with the monk. But the halberd is an interesting weapon. You basically only use your charged heavy attack for this build, because using any other attack is weaker and slower. So you'll see James charge up on the mouse. If you're using mouse and keyboard, it's the right click. You hold down the right click button, you wait until that arrow lights up for a split second, then you release at the proper time. That lands you a perfect shot, which gives you plus 50% damage on your heavy attack. All other heavy attacks, if you charge it and you don't let go at the right time, it does 50% less damage. So timing is important to nail down when you're using this build. But that's the only attack you use with this build, because like I said, all the other attacks are just a waste of time. So pile all the blessings you can find for your heavy attack for GOG on top of the halberd, and you're good to go. It's a relatively straightforward build.
Pretty much.
And
I've already gotten Bob's dash, and I've gotten an extra attack from GOG. So if I see Bob's light attack, you wouldn't normally take that, but because this is a heavy attack heavy build, I'm just going to take Bob's light attack because I'm not worried about what my light attack and dash attack are. But if my build is purely Bob and GOG, then it increases the chances of Bone Collector dramatically, because everything is just Bob and GOG. So if I see Bob or GOG blessings, especially since I can force another Bob blessing down the line, will be cooking, to say the least. But first, we're taking Sword in the Stone. I'm looking for Twin Lunge here first, Curry. Do you usually go for Twin Lunge or Stinger when you're running this build?
Twin Lunge is usually my first one.
Yeah, it just makes more sense to me. There we are. Just because it's more damage and it doubles the amount of stagger that you inflict. I'm risking it on the banner again. I'm risking it on the banner.
All right.
Yes, we got one.
Oh, okay.
Ones.
So yeah, this is just a maze obstacle course thing. You just run through and get to the end. There are no enemies to kill.
Fun fact, the spell gives you iframes for this character. So if you use the Bull Rush spell, it gives you iframes. So I can just do this. And that's about as fast as you can get through that. GOG, please and thank you.
That's impressive. I hate that event because those events
I absolutely
typically
love it.
kill me.
It's really fast.
I hate them. They're terrible.
It's one of the fastest ones. With Vigilante, Spectre, or Rook, you can get through it pretty darn fast, as long as you're not running the Monk. So I'm kind of glad I didn't get it with the Monk.
And this is the difference between 6 hours in the game and many, many more hours in the game.
Yeah, if I get that room, I'm lucky if I don't die once.
I went through 3 lives the last time I went through a maze.
True, I do remember that. That was during one of our co-op attempts. I think that was the 4-player co-op attempt that we did.
I think so, yes.
You know what?
Which is still a world record, funny enough.
Yes, it is. Because, hey, you and Ad were awesome. Shoutouts to Ad129, our technically other co-op partner, I guess, who filled out our 4-player roster. And yes, you heard that right. The 2 people who had made up our 4-character roster had both basically not played the game really at all before we did that run.
It was literally Ad's first time playing the game.
Literally earlier that night, they had bought the game because it was on sale for $5. So yes, if you want to try and take that 4-player co-op world record, you probably can. Pick up this game. It is awesome. Try out different strategies that you've seen, or just have some fun with it. There is a fully unlocked save file if you just want to jump right into speedrunning it, but I highly recommend taking the time to play the game and unlock everything initially your first time around. But once you have unlocked anything, I will not dunk on you for upgrading to that permanent save file so that you do not have to unlock everything, especially because you will notice we do not have ultimates or companions in this run. Normally a fully upgraded save file would. We do not, because those are inefficient and those clog up our blessing pool. I enjoy running with them casually. I have my personal save file saved separately, but when I'm doing speedruns, it is no companions, no ultimates, because usually they're slow and don't have enough damage scaling. I do enjoy using Mob occasionally and doing Mob Gog Magog combos. Mob is the queen of spiders, so fair arachnophobia warning if you want to use Mob in the future. I don't know why I took Bera there, because Bera does not actually benefit me at all with this build. That's fine. I should be able to get like some gold or something.
You were distracted by talking about the spiders.
And honestly, this will be faster. It's an event anyway, so I can just do spellcaster. I don't know.
Yeah,
let's see what's down here. I will take that, and we'll take that. Giant Slayer. Hey, that works.
Okay.
That works, and I'll just take the shop for the encounter skip. That, not what I intended, but it worked out. That's the joy of RTA runs, and we will be skipping the banner here, I think. We'll skip that banner. I'm not too broken up over missing those 2 blessings in that shop, because I didn't have enough gold for them anyway. So even with taking the blessing here, we're all good. And since I'm dealing all this extra damage to some of these other enemies, there's nothing I need there. We're not doing too bad. We're moving pretty quickly with this one, making up for some of the lost time on the run before this. We are
Yeah, you have you good components of your build going.
Yep. It's not perfect, but it's definitely better than the previous run was. Definitely better than the monk run, I should say. The monk run was certainly something with all those event spaces. Yes, we got the twins. The twins are definitely my preferred mini-boss in this area. Curry, do you prefer the twins with the mauler rats, or do you prefer the... I don't remember what the other one is because I just dislike it that much.
I prefer the other one, the singular rats.
Okay.
Yeah, so what is the answer?
What is it?
The other one is called the Raving Blight.
The Raving
There
Blight.
it is, yep.
That makes sense because it throws out the glow sticks.
Dangerous glow sticks.
Well, yes, the glow sticks of doom.
But I prefer that one because it's just one singular rat, and
Yeah.
I can dodge those glowing sticks better than I can do the 2 that you just fought.
Which is fair.
Giant, bulky AoE attacks.
You also play on higher difficulty than I do. When I'm on lower difficulty and I'm damage scaling the heck out of my builds, I can usually just annihilate the heck out of those enemies, and just they will disappear. So having 2 health pools that I can drop at the same time as opposed to 1 larger health pool is often faster for me on a lower difficulty. So it's just a different philosophy of play. And that's just the joy of finding out different ways to play. Hey, we finally got a banner, and it's upgraded rarity too, which honestly is nice. That increases the chances of Bone Collector as well. So we might get Bone Collector a little later than I would normally like, but still relatively pretty early on for most runs. The
Say that as if we didn't pick up Bone Collector in like the last area.
Yeah, the true goal is usually to get it within the first area.
Hey,
but,
Bone Collector!
Hey, we have it as early as the run is allowing us to right now.
Yeah.
It just goes like that sometimes. I will take Titania here. Let's take Dying Spark because that's the higher rarity, and let's take some extra health. This character is normally built around, not taking damage, but I can damage down pretty well, and we've got a decently large health pool. Percival again. Not Lancelot, right, Curry?
Right, this is not Lancelot again. This is Sir Percival.
Or as chat was calling him, Lancelot.
Ooh, I like that.
Not.
All right, chat. I see you.
Yeah, there we go. You can see, once we stun the enemies, especially Sir Percival here, he has to do that attack again. Because if you stun an enemy mid-attack, once they get out of stun, they have to repeat the attack before they can move on to the next attack pattern. So, It's very convenient if you're able to pull that off consistently.
It is amazing, especially against Lady Bedivere, who will be coming up next. Or at least later on in the run. I don't really need anything else here. I will take Luke because why not at this rate? I don't want to top off on health. And the Berserker Brew doesn't actually really give me any benefit because I still have to wait the same amount of time to do a charged attack. Where is this other enemy? It's over here. There we go. Stinger, there we go. So
There's
now
Stinger.
we should be moving. Of course, the attack doesn't want me to zip out of it because the game is just being a little mean right now. But hey, we'll get there. It's saving everything for the second half. The game is saving everything for after the ad break. I joke, of course, I joke.
Would one of you be able to explain Stinger?
Go for it, Curry.
Sure thing. So Stinger increases your heavy attack damage by 20%, and plus it like almost like doubles the range distance at which you can actually attack. So you see that white arrow on the screen is much larger now. So that is the effective range at which you can strike enemies. So you can stand halfway across the map, hit an enemy that you might not even be able to see off screen and still land the hit. So it's very useful, not just for damage, but also for speed, reaching enemies where you might normally not be able to hit them, and for also movement to traverse the map a little bit quicker. So you can see there, we're using our heavy attack, charged heavy attack. We are gliding through the map now, and are able to strike enemies from much farther away. Very convenient. Also helps you avoid damage if you're able to like stand farther away and still be able to hit them.
It's really fun during co-op runs, suddenly seeing Curry zoom onto screen from somewhere else halfway across the map.
Oh yeah,
I'll just see Curry appear on screen for half a second, and suddenly
and then
Curry is off the screen again.
Yep,
that's how you turn. Yeah, that's how you turn the Rook from the slowest character into one of the fastest moving characters.
Pretty much, and it's absolutely awesome. All right, let's see if we get our spinny top friend again. We do. We got the faster option. Curry, you want to explain why we like the Abyssal Watcher?
The Abyssal Watcher does not duck underneath the water when they feel like it. The Abyssal Watcher just stays on land, so you can constantly hit it. The other option here, the Galvanic Witch, has a couple moments where she will dip into the water, and that's where you can't hit her at all. So that's a much slower boss once she dips into the water, then has to pop back up.
Yep, we're not fans of enemies that have iframes.
Yeah, we want those iframes, not them.
Might get the reach over there. Come on, don't clip me on the edge of the platform there. There we go. All right. The timing on the Rook is probably the hardest part of the Rook run, is getting that just absolute timing down, especially because the timing does change a little bit once you get the Stinger. Once you have Stinger, the timing is a little bit longer. It's not much longer, but it is just about maybe half a second longer, I think. I'm not exactly certain of how much longer it is. but it is
Maybe
it's slightly
maybe I'm
different.
just used to it.
You are a pure rook runner. I am a vigilante runner at
Yeah,
everything.
we run different builds, so yep.
So I also do run the rook, but when I usually run the rook for a co-op, it's a different build altogether. Because
That's one thing
thanks to
I will.
Ron, I do know the Bera build for it. You were saying so?
Yeah, that's one thing I will note is if you are like, okay, I saw this at SGQ. Why should I watch this one? One, you get to see all the characters, but also two, even though this is the same character that Curry ran in SGQ, it's a similar-ish build as much as you can have a similar build because roguelikes, you can't control that fully. They still play very differently. I will say, as one of their co-op partners, they play very differently. So it's also a benefit of this game, right? There's so many ways to play this, even if you pick up a build from the speedrunners, you still get to play it differently, right? It's going to change depending on how you like to play, which is great. I love that in a roguelike.
Yep. Unfortunately, I got one of the worst blessings I could have gotten for this particular build. Press the attack. Press the attack is fun, but that's fun if you have a character that doesn't need to dash constantly for their build to be effective and fast. Curry,
So
can
it
explain
just
press
does
the
not
attack?
work at all here.
Yeah, I get one attack with it and then nothing.
Yeah, press the attack is, you gain a damage buff if you haven't used your dash in the past 3 seconds. However, with the halberd and rook, you use your dash every single time you attack, because that's an animation cancel. You charge up your heavy attack, you let go of your heavy attack. Once it strikes the enemy, you dash immediately. That cancels the rest of the heavy attack animation and lets you charge it up immediately afterwards. It almost doubles the rate at which you can deal damage. So dashing after your heavy attack here is critical to mastering this build. So that blessing that where you cannot dash to gain damage is anti-synergistic with this build. It doesn't hurt you, but it does absolutely nothing for you.
Yep, pretty much. I would much rather have the one where it's when you haven't taken damage. I think that's Flawless. Flawless is the one where you haven't taken damage and it gives you the buff.
Yep.
We're a little lower than the damage threshold I'd like to be at, but we're not doing too poorly. Probably about 2 minutes to go. This should be about on par for my average rook run.
Do you have a time for this right now?
We're at about 43 minutes, I think.
This is a better warrior than you.
But with the monk run being behind so far, we're actually pretty on pace for rook. We'll go over here for Luke. Hopefully we'll get
Or will you crumble?
what we're looking for here. Game, please. There we go. That should finally give us Luke here, and I can re-roll for greed. Hey, I didn't even need to. That's awesome. Because that will give us a lot of damage. It's only at 3% this time as opposed to 4%, but when you have over 500 gold, that's still a lot.
After you die here,
And I'm going to intentionally take some damage here to get below another threshold, and now you can see I'm doing an extra 600 damage compared to what I was doing before. I don't want to take the Fey banner because menuing is slow.
I've slain Faye,
Ooh,
So I have
okay.
just in the span of one banner, I have made up for my lower damage threshold that I was dealing with. And if I see a sacrifice shrine over here, I will re-roll for a better blessing. So sacrifice shrine. Nope,
this is a
higher.
sacrifice. You don't get to roll another blessing.
Yes, but I don't need the dash. The dash does me nothing, so that's 150 gold. So that's 9% extra damage. That's 9% extra damage as opposed to 50 damage from the shade whenever I dash. I think I'll take the 9% extra damage, which should be putting me over 1600 damage a hit on a perfect hit. So TLDR, Arthur should die fast.
Yep.
Don't blink because
Blink and you'll miss
we'll
it.
be over 2,000. I was a little off on my calculations. On that first hit, because we hadn't dashed, it was over 2,000.
There we go. Now, yeah. We're gonna. Yeah, this isn't not gonna last
If
very
we
long.
take a death here, that's fine. I'm not too worried because that still keeps us at the threshold we're not worried about. And there goes Arthur. That is time on the Rook. So, Sarge, I believe we were heading to an ad break after this character.
Yeah, so during these longer runs, everybody really take breaks every hour or so. Just everybody get up, stretch, get some water, anything y'all need to do. Just a quick reminder before we go to that break. And well, a little bit of a reminder, but I just want to thank everybody for supporting the Games Done Quick, by checking out our stream, coming in, chatting, talking with us in chat. And you can always support Games Done Quick by sharing the GDQ channel with your friends, anybody you think would enjoy this. Anybody, who's played Sworn and you think might be interested in it, definitely share it with them. And yeah, we're going to take a quick break. We'll see you in just a few minutes with the rest of the Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. This is the Community Grab Bag. This is a show where I have grabbed runs that have been submitted by you, the audience, and I've asked the runners to be on today. Just a quick reminder, if you are interested in running anything on the Hotfix, you can always do that by submitting your runs over at gdq.gg/hotfix. We are in the middle of a Sworn 4-character run, so I'll hand it right back over to you, and we can get started whenever you're ready.
Alrighty, we're gonna resume this run in 3, 2, 1, go. We're gonna jump right back in, and we're going to be jumping into the Spectre. I have enjoyed playing the Spectre a lot casually. The Spectre has some of the most variety of any of the characters in terms of playstyle, and I really and truly love this character for the variety of playstyle. We are obviously going to be going as fast as possible with this character, and fast with this character means going for a Bob build if I can do menuing correctly, picking up some more dice for rerolls, and let's keep it rolling. Jumping right back in.
Right.
Let's see if we can make up some of that time loss from some of that bad RNG early. We were doing pretty well. We're going to be utilizing the claws with the Spectre here, which basically means we're playing high DPS. Alright, let's see. We're not seeing That's okay.
A lot of dice you're using.
That's okay, though. We're okay. We're doing okay.
That was a lot of dice.
This is within expectations.
All right.
For this character, that's within expectations, and we're actually doing okay. Because with this character is actually still pretty unoptimized in terms of the build. We only need one specific sword in the stone upgrade. The second one is kind of a dealer's choice type thing, even to this day. Even with some of the builds that Umbron and I have been routing out as we go. So nothing is really guaranteed as we go here. We're gonna experiment.
What is the build you're going for? Oh, sorry, Sal, go ahead.
Quickly about Sword in the Stones is we get 2 of them guaranteed per run. So we want to be a little bit strategic about making sure we actually take them when we see them.
Yep. I will go for the gold here. Just try and get some gold going for blessings down the line. I'm really going to be going for a heavy backstab build here if I can. This is a glass cannon build, so be warned, we are going to probably be taking a lot of damage, and you might see me take a death here in this run. You might see me use a few of those resurrection tokens as we proceed through this run. And if you see me burn through my last couple rerolls here early, that is a-okay. That is within expectations for this run. We have backup plans in place. The Spectre is the dangerous one. But we didn't even need to use a dice there. We did not have to use dice there. Sacrificial power is what we are rolling with. Sacrificial power allows me to deal an extra % of damage for every point of health that I am missing, up to 100% extra damage. So, as I said, glass cannon. I will be taking some extra hearts here when I see them, but for now, I don't mind taking a little extra damage because as this enemy damages me down, I will just be damaging it more back, and it will drop pretty darn fast. I would love to take that extra health, but we'll be taking Bov instead. Alright, jump in there, and just swipe through those enemies. We're already dealing some good damage. I will go ahead and take the Shadow Strike there. I am going to slip over here and grab the gold. And see if I can just quickly get these enemies taken care of. Missed the spell on that one. That's okay, still over 100 gold, which means we should be at 340 by the time we get to the second shop of this run.
Okay, so your build is mainly revolves around your spell and then your light attack?
Pretty much. If we see bleed, we'll be going for bleed. Backstab, hemorrhage, we'll be just focusing on a lot of Bov's blessings. And that'll really be our focus as we go.
Sounds like my kind of build.
All right.
Yep. It is a DPS as opposed to DPH build. The DPH style builds are awesome. DPH meaning damage per hit as opposed to damage per second. DPH is amazing for a lot of IGT runs. DPS is really good for a lot of RTA runs, and of course we get 45 seconds of time loss. So, Sarge, anything that you want to tell the people watching about, since we're in our, I believe, fourth 45 seconds of time loss of the run?
Yeah, so, just as a quick reminder, I said it just a few minutes ago, but if you do want to show something on the hotfix, you can submit those over at gdq.gg/hotfix. You can also check out what's going on the hotfix that week. We have our schedule up there as well. And we are going to be going to Gamescom GDQ. GDQ will be going to Gamescom. That's going to be taking place August 20th. Oh, like David said last run, speaking is hard. So Gamescom GDQ, that's going to be August 20th to 30th, live in Cologne, Germany. You can always visit gamescom.global for more information about the event and check out gdq.gg/schedule/gamescom to see what runs we'll be featuring at our first European event. I'll hand it back to you three, sorry.
All good, all good. We just managed to pick up Gogmagog's spell here. That will be the one non-backstab thing that I take this run because, as we saw earlier, that allows us to possibly get Bone Collector. Plus, in the long run, it gives me the opportunity to spec a little bit into some stagger, but we are going to be focusing primarily on Bov's blessings. Let's go with Dying Spark here. And I will take Gogmagog first. We'll go with Unmatched Power since we only have one form of stagger right now, and we won't be getting any more forms of stagger as we go. So increasing the amount of stagger we deal will be beneficial if we want to stagger any enemies at all in this run. But now I don't have to be precise with how I deal my spell damage. I can just teleport to the enemy, and there we go. We have stunned Gawain, and now we're just smack Gawain a little bit. And if he damages me a little bit, that's fine, because that just means I damage him back harder, and Gawain is down. We are moving pretty fast. we now have another blessing that benefits us for being on low health. So this is truly a glass cannon at its finest. We're going to try to continue to push for BOV blessings, but there is no guarantee. I will take the risk and reroll Unmatched Power here. Didn't necessarily get what I wanted. I can burn that here. Didn't get it, so I'll just take Unmatched Power back. That's okay. I didn't even think, and I took the health as well. So I refilled my health. That means I'll be doing a little less damage until I can damage back down, but that's okay. We should still be one-shotting a lot of enemies here with our spell if we use our spell. Assuming I actually hit with the spell like that. There we go.
I was gonna say maybe.
Accuracy is what it is. I will take the extra Fadal just in case. Fadals are revival tokens. Look, when you're playing a glass cannon build in a marathon setting, you plan for the worst and hope for the best. Because I took it, I'm not going to need it, you know?
That's true. That is how that
That's
works.
the hope. Yep.
That is how
that is
it
the rule of
works.
Roblox.
It is the rule of RNG. I will go ahead and actually upgrade my spell a little bit here because I do have the few buffs going into it, and I will take the gold so I can hopefully get a blessing down the line. Normally you would be looking for some of the horns of strength and things like that, especially if they had the special upgrades, but I will actually be avoiding some of those. I think I touched on this a little bit earlier, but menuing is slow. Menuing is slow. A menu pop-up, a menu close, selecting something in a menu, that is all real-time time loss. So if I can sacrifice a little bit of something and make it up by not having a menu that I have to deal with, I will be dealing with that. So it's one of those things that you do take into consideration while playing in an RTA setting. We'll risk it. We'll risk the Fey banner.
You save the seconds, and then you go into an event door.
I know.
So.
I'm hoping for the crystals here. Ooh, Luna Blossom. That's almost better. That is almost better because that's on a timer and I have teleportation powers. So this is a little bit of an auto-scroller, but not nearly as egregious as some of the other ones that I have dealt with.
Yeah, this one is just you collect the drops on stage, you bring them to the Luna Blossom in the middle. That's it. You don't have to clear the enemies. You just have to bring enough droplets to the center.
And as you saw, I did take a death there just by not paying attention, but that's fine. I will go ahead and take Approaching Storm. Approaching Storm means I deal more damage when enemies are near me. But we'll be alright.
And that's ideally the case because you're getting up and close and personal with your spell. Alright, Raving Blight.
I hate the Raving Blight so much. I am glad that you like it because I utterly despise this enemy.
I took some time to learn its attack patterns and learn how to dodge it appropriately, so...
I know its attack patterns, I can dodge it, but doesn't mean I'm good at dodging it.
Yeah, fair.
Ooh, Bone Collector, there we go.
Bone Collector!
Our scalability. We have our scalability. Yep. I am now looking for health pool increases because Sacrificial Power only gives me benefits for the first 100 health points that I sacrifice. And if I raise my health pool higher, the 35% damage threshold, or the 35% threshold that I have to reach for the other character that I have that gives me a benefit for low health from Titania, Dying Spark, then once I hit that threshold does increase when I increase my health. I don't have to be at specifically 35 HP. I can boost it up to, say, 70 or 100 HP if I increase my health high enough. I will take Luke because the game is putting Luke towards me, and I will take Greed early on. We will not be taking nearly as many shop items as I would expect, because now we have extra percentile damage to throw at enemies. Because we have not gotten bleed, but we have gotten a lot of other forms of percentile damage. I will jump in here.
Yeah.
I do not need the gold because this is just before Percival. And if I see a heart, I will take it. I will take just a little bit of HP.
Ooh.
I want to play it safe. Percival can be a little mean sometimes, and I don't necessarily want to play too risky because I do have the rest of my build ready and functional. And I don't have to take any risks with the rest of my run.
Fair enough.
So I can just do this to him.
That, yeah, I see that. Okay. I see.
So even then, I'm only taking 1 resurrection as opposed to 2 there, which means I still have 2 revival tokens for the rest of the run. And now I can just kind of go on autopilot for the rest of this run, and we can just enjoy going fast. We'll be a-okay. We should be saving some time here as we go. Is there anything that I need to get rid of? I don't think so. I don't need the dash, actually. I do not need the dash. The dash just gives me shades and doesn't give me much, so sacrificing that and getting 200 gold from it, which immediately gives me 12% extra damage guaranteed until I spend that gold, if I choose to spend that gold, is amazing. I will go ahead and... Ooh, none of that is great, so I will take Greater Devastation because that's the only one that doesn't have any negative drawbacks on me. And we'll take some extra maximum HP. Maximum HP will definitely be beneficial in this run. As I was saying earlier, it is what we're kind of just looking for in this run now. That and gold are going to be the bread and butter of this run. Ooh, just like that. Nice little treasure goblin appearing. That'll give us some extra gold as well, which is even more damage on top of it. We should be zooming. Build didn't necessarily work out the way I expected, but that's roguelikes for you. You gotta be able to improvise, especially in a multi-character run like this, where you're not really resetting, you're not going for perfect RNG. You have to be able to bounce between the different characters and the different builds that you know, which is part of why I love it. This isn't like the any percent and Morgana percent characters or categories where we are usually resetting for some of the better RNG we can get, and we're shaving away at second barriers, if not minute barriers. I mean, Curry, you can attest to how much you and I have pushed to catch up to Umbron, who has managed to break that 5-minute barrier in any percent.
That just requires a lot of grinding and re-rolling for optimal RNG, as you were saying. So it takes not just, you know, mastering skills and technique and whatnot, but also just waiting and rolling and hoping you get the right buffs. So
meanwhile here, we're able just to do a little bit more with a little bit less, and I personally have started enjoying the 4-character run a little bit more, I think. Because I'm able to just improvise and have a bit more, not necessarily more fun, but I'm able to go at it without worrying about it being perfect. Because it is by nature an imperfect run. You cannot force perfect RNG on all 4 characters. Something will inevitably go wrong, and then you gotta showcase a little bit of skill there. And it just makes it a little more fun.
I'd say that it also applies to all the individual, single character runs as well. You don't get a perfect build every single time, so you roll with what you've got.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That is truly the roguelike running experience.
Let's see. kind of zooming through this last area here. I will go ahead and press the attack, because I don't think once we get to the areas, we shouldn't be using our dash too much against bosses, especially once I boost my health pool a little bit more, especially since I do have the teleport capability. Now, I do obviously have to dash there to navigate around, but it's not too bad. I will go here. If I see maximum HP, I will take maximum HP. I don't see it, so I will go ahead and take a little bit of HP here, because that does still keep me below the threshold, since I have 160 HP. I think I'm doing that math right in my head. I might not be.
Wait, let me do math right now.
It is now tomorrow compared to when I started this run, so...
Yeah, I think you're like right on the cusp there, so you should be fine.
Well,
now you're definitely below.
I definitely am.
You are now.
I definitely am now, but with that extra little buff as it ticked over, now we're even faster. Ta-da!
All right.
Now I just need to remember not to take the HP here.
Hey, James, don't take the HP here.
Yeah, I know.
There we go.
I normally would take the HP there, because HP good, you don't want to die. But in this case, no, I want to, keep my health a little lower. But we're going to be going for gold and the Fey Hearts as we go through here, and avoiding as much menuing as possible.
Yep. Good luck with your glass cannon build. I haven't done a run or build like this before, so
it is very fun but very risky. I will not lie.
Yeah, that's more RNG on top of the RNG I already have to contend with in the game.
Your efforts accomplished.
Ain't it just fun?
Shards.
You should give it a try sometime, Curry. I think you might like it.
Yeah, maybe. I'll see if I pick up Dying Spark and then revolve my build around my HP.
Well, it's not just Dying Spark.
It's not just Dying Spark.
It's Sacrificial Power, which is one of the Sword in the Stone upgrades. Oh, that's okay. We still have one more. We shouldn't need either of them against Arthur once we get there. It's just because of all the area effects around here. And hey, there's a Fey Heart, so there's a little health upgrade, so...
Okay, just a little bit of a buffer.
We're fine. And hey, you notice how I said if I buy that extra revival token, I'm not going to need it?
Yeah.
So you're not going to need it, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Right?
I told you. We're fine.
We're fine.
Glass cannons.
I don't have
We're
this character
doing-
yet, but it looks very fun.
Oh, it's very fun. It's a very risk-reward character, and probably the one I enjoy playing the most casually, and I'll sacrifice a little bit of damage for a little bit of health there. Is there anything I'm willing to sacrifice? Nope. And there we go. All right, so... let's see, 600 gold times 3 so... 3% for 50, so that's 12 buffs. Curry, what's 12 times 3? 36?
36. 36% damage
So
increase.
36% there. Another 35 from Dying Spark, and then however much from Bone Collector. Oh, I'm actually not quite at that threshold for Dying Spark. I
so
need
much
to take
backstab.
one more hit. There we go. Now I am at the threshold for Dying Spark. There we go. There's 1,400 damage a hit.
Almost. There we go.
Ooh, okay, I am at 7 HP. I might need that last revival token. I need that last revival token.
Oh, yeah. Lock in, James.
We're fine. We're fine. We're fine.
So yeah, as you can see, we're going to try to pop the stun here. once we get that spell buff, because that locks King Arthur in place, and there we can deal the final blows.
I told you we'd be
There we go.
I told you we would be fun. Never doubt, never in doubt. All right, and that brings us to the last character, the fastest character of this run, the most consistent character of this run, the Vigilante, my personal favorite character, I think Cell's favorite character as well. And this character naturally has this character naturally has damage built into it through the blessings you get from the Sword and the Stone. I am going to go ahead and take the Gog Magog blessing here because that is a necessity. We'll be getting that straight out of the first banner just to guarantee it. We should be a-okay here. Let's get this rolling. Last character hype, chat.
Good luck, have fun for the fourth time and the last time tonight.
Yep. All right, Gog Magog, we're going to be taking the spell here. I said we're going to be taking the spell here. One reroll.
The spell,
oh,
okay.
Boy. The RNG gremlins that have been haunting me all throughout practice have decided to return on the stage, but we're making it work. As you can see, the spell works really well. And since I only have one thing, I'm going to go ahead and take that hammer, which upgrades my spell from common to uncommon. So yeah, that's 50 gold down, but that's a spell buffed.
Something I'll note about rarity in this game is, unlike some games where rarity means how likely you're to see it, rarity in this case means how powerful it is. So a higher rarity version of the spell is more powerful. Or blessing, it's higher rare, it's more powerful, as opposed to you're not going to see it as often.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, yeah, higher rarities, you know, most of the time you'll get common blessings, and then there's uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary in increasing order, and the higher that is, the higher the base level of damage is. And then in addition to rarity, you also have actual levels to your blessing. And when you take a Horn of Strength, that upgrades the level, which effectively is the same thing. It upgrades how powerful that blessing is. It's just that there are two different mechanics to how those blessings work. You can upgrade both the rarity and the level of the blessing.
Yep, pretty much. Doesn't get much more simple than that, and we now have a fourth mana charge thanks to getting Bera very early on, and there is light attack from Bov, so we are schmoovin'. Let's hopefully get Vigilante's Blade, or Veteran's Blade I should say, with one reroll here. If any rerolls. Veteran's Blade, perfect.
There
is our automatic
okay.
damage scaling for the rest of the run. We don't even need Bone Collector, but Bone Collector would be nice icing on top of the cake. And we got the preferred mini-boss here, so...
I will say, James, I am slightly disappointed in your build because it is not really a bonk stick.
Nope, it is just throw the dagger at the enemy and stun it so that you can smack it with the bonk stick. I will be taking the gold here so that I can guarantee myself blessings later.
We have a good question in chat for one of you who's more knowledgeable than I am. Does level scale with rarity?
Level does not scale with rarity, but damage scales with both level and rarity. They basically scale separately, but you can get benefits from both. So say that you can increase your level and you can increase your rarity. Rarity just gives you a higher starting threshold to work with in terms of your percentage of damage increase, I think. Did I have that right, Curry? Was that a...
Yeah. Rarity at the very least increases like the base value of the blessing. If you level up like a rare blessing, that difference, that increase might also scale. I honestly haven't been paying close attention to that. I'm gonna have to check that the next time I do a run.
Nice.
See if you upgrade a level, it's like a bigger increase at like an epic level as opposed to an increase in level at a common level. I have to go back and check that.
Yep. Good news, we're now running a dodge build. because I got the Bov Blessing from the shrine that you rarely ever see. Shrines are the way that you get the potions from different things. I'm not taking the banner. I do not need any more time loss. I do not need it right now. Not with this character. Gosh darn it. But if you see a deity-specific shrine in a run, it's not necessarily a bad idea to take it, especially if you have that deity in your build, as it usually offers deity-specific benefits. So with Bov, anytime I'm dealing backstab damage, I have a high chance to just dodge damage now. So I will reroll ones there. I'll take Swift Assassin. Gog, I'll take the heavy attack, that's fine. And we'll just keep on moving. Obviously, I will still be looking for Bone Collector, but it is not a necessity for this build to succeed. If anything, I'll actually be looking more for stagger increase with Gog Magog, because if I can keep enemies standing still for longer, I will hopefully be able to increase my mana regen if I see Beira again.
Oh, tanking it, okay.
Well, I do have the backstab to increase dodge from the blessing that I got earlier. So you're seeing only about half of these are actually hitting me, which is really nice.
Yep.
And that just allows me to knock Gwaine down a little bit faster. We're already at 20 stacks of the Veteran's Blade out of the 125, so that's actually really good pace out of the first room, or out of the first area, I should say. And a big benefit of that is getting that Bear Blessing so early on. I think I will go ahead and take the Essence of Shadow here. Try for extra... I will risk this here, I think. Okay, I'll just get the base blessings out of the loot pool, that's fine. I lose a little bit of mobility there, but I have movement tech with this character thanks to the heavy attack. If you chain your heavy attack and your dash together, you can just cancel out of the heavy attack, and it's fast, which is nice.
I don't think we explained this earlier, but Veteran's Blade there gives you plus 1% damage per enemy killed, up to a cap of what, like 120 or 125?
125,
for the whole
and
run?
it's actually flat damage. It increases the base damage.
It's flat damage.
Yes, it's base damage, which is even better to an extent in most cases. Because then your percentile damage scales off of it. So if you see percentile damage like with Bone Collector, which we just got, which is amazing. We are in go mode. We're pushing as fast as we can now. Curry, I'm throwing comms to you and locking in. Bone Collector will give us the benefit of percentile damage on top of the flat damage. So yeah, Curry, go. Comms
Good
are
luck,
yours
have
now.
fun.
You got this.
All right. Yeah, so now that we have both types of like flat, or not flat, we have both types of like cumulative damage increases. We both have, like we said earlier, that flat damage increase per enemy killed, as well as that percentage increase per enemy killed. The name of the game is just kill as many enemies as quickly as possible, which, I mean, we were doing already, but the pace will really start to pick up now that we have both types in here. Yeah, so the main crux of this build is you stun with your spell, and when they're stunned, you go behind them and you do backstabs with your light attack here. We have the Malarats here, so again, James' preferred one. I'm really curious to see how they'll manage. Oh wow, okay, so that's really cool. You can see if you line your shots up precisely, your spell can hit multiple enemies at the same time. Whereas in other games, you might need like an upgrade to have your attacks like pierce through multiple enemies. In this one, your attacks primarily can just do that out of the box. So if you line up your shots, so you take like a split second to line it up properly, you can like stun so many enemies in one go and save a lot of time. So sometimes it's worth it just to like not just like unleash your spell immediately, but line it up so you can like James is doing. Like we took out those two like stationary enemies with one blade throw. And with some of the others that fly around, if you stun them but don't kill them, you can then maneuver behind them and then do backstabs. So I need to try out this build for myself. I have not run this character or this build yet, so
Really?
it's
You've
very
never tried
tempting.
Vigilante?
I think I have, but with its other weapons here. So I've never
Really?
tried this specific one.
The Bowstaff Vigilante build is the primary speedrunning build for a lot of runners. It is Umbron's main build. Umbron is the current world record holder of any percent with the one sub 5 time out there. Unless yours was a sub 5, I can't remember. Did you get the sub 5?
No, mine's a 5-minute 50-second time.
Okay.
So, bit of a far cry. Yeah, with the nature of this being a roguelike, the times on the leaderboard vary a little bit. Umbron is undisputed first place world record holder, 4 minutes 37 seconds for an any percent on Squire. I'm in second, which I earned a couple weeks ago, at 5 minutes and 50 seconds. So, you know, our times are not that long to begin with this being in-game time. The times do not differ. The times are just low in general.
Yeah.
But the fact that there's like a 20% difference, like a minute in between times, just shows you how much RNG plays in actually getting a good time. So it's a lot about not just mastering the mechanics, but also grinding for that good RNG.
Yeah.
So,
I'm currently in third with a 619, I think. Which I got as a gold split in my current world record of 4 character. So yeah, we're fighting a gold split here, but we have a chance, honestly, with this RNG here.
Yeah, we'll see.
I believe.
I haven't been keeping track of the excuse me, the real world timer, but I believe too.
I don't think we'll be getting any IGT PBs. We're already at almost 5 minutes IGT, but we're doing really well RTA. I'll just say that.
Okay.
We still have a
Got it.
reroll left, so we should get Ricochet Blade here.
We have
We
one
should.
reroll left.
Yep, but it has worked out significantly.
I'm genuinely happy for you. For me personally, I'm like, oh, that's
Ricochet
too
Blade
few
didn't
dice.
even need to use it.
There's Ricochet Blade. Okay.
You
Didn't need
just
that.
have to start trusting the RNG at a certain point with this run, because you have to force certain things early. If you don't, you're never going to get the run off the ground.
Yeah, I'm like we were discussing a little bit earlier. I usually run Morgana percent, which is a longer run. There's a whole 5th area you have to do, and the enemies in that area are very bulky. So I take it a little bit safer during these first few areas. Save my rerolls, be a little bit more picky and decisive, actually just more picky when it comes to which doors I take. So to see like an any percent being done in real time is a little bit of a shift in perspective for me.
It was certainly a shift for me because, as you know, I started with Morgana percent as well. Morgana percent is still one of my favorite categories, but changing to an RTA run is definitely a very difficult shift to make.
Yeah, I'm seeing you do this, this 4-character run, and it makes me want to do it as well. I've never
for
tried
it.
a 4-character run myself,
Go
so
for it.
I need to do it.
I was the first one to attempt it when it happened. Lo and behold, there was a French runner by the name of Scel, S-C-E-L, who also put up a time, and we've kind of traded the record back and forth once, I think. I have kind of become the current record holder by a couple minutes now, but I am excited to see if they come back with anything new. That's the fastest clear we've had on that mini boss all day. I forgot to pop.
Yeah, that was
potion, too.
impressive.
I forgot to pop
Yeah.
my potion too, so that was actually slow. You can see why the Vigilante with this particular build is the preferred build of many runners.
I can see that now.
Blood Thinner,
it's also
perfect.
shaking me.
Hemorrhage.
Hemorrhaging, let's
there we go.
Blood Thinner just means that I cause hemorrhage faster. Sadly, I'm not dealing any bleed with my light attack yet. I just have Tragic Aura, which makes stacks of bleed add up on my enemies over time just by me being near them. So it works, but it's not the fastest. Hemorrhage is not my main source of damage right now. That is still my spell, which you can see dealing a lot of damage here.
Yeah, 1100 damage per hit on that.
And we're still a little low.
Smaller mobs.
We're still a little low for this particular build. You have seen it in our co-op runs, Curry, where this gets to about 2500 a hit.
It gets ridiculous, like.
We've got 25 more stacks to go on the actual Veteran's Blade, which we've been building from the start. And that is dagger-specific kills. We'll go ahead and take that. Reroll that. Flawless, perfect. So that's 35% extra damage. Because I shouldn't be taking damage. Alright, Bedivere, I should just pop my potion lock on and spam knives. So... Potion lock on, knife, 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 knife. That's most of the health.
Wow!
And
Look at that.
knife again, and there we go. Bedivere gone.
Beautiful.
Yep. That is the run. That is that character. We love this build so much. And because I have Spell Thief, I'm just regaining my mana that fast. I have 2 potions left. I'm going to just save them. We're just going to keep on schmoovin'. I'm not going to waste time menuing if I can help it. I'm going to position myself by one of the podiums and select everything as it comes up. Because you can actually select whatever comes up next before it appears. I'm going to try and save time here. And I want to see how fast we can make this. It's not quite going to be a gold split based off of what I'm seeing on my splits, but we're going pretty darn fast. It's going to be very close to a gold split RTA.
You'll die.
All right, yep, choose the podium, start throwing out those knives.
Oop, missed one. That's unfortunate.
Need a little bit more?
Get out of here.
That's fine.
There we go. That's fine. That one. Darn it, Fei Painter. That is a little bit of time loss. So just rebuild some mana there.
Quite all right.
And that's fine.
I'll point out something.
Some mana there.
I'll point out something real quick here. You notice how James is actually like locking on to the enemies. That's not just like the phrase or expression. That's a mechanic here where if you're using a mouse and keyboard, I use a mouse and keyboard. If you press the Alt key, your character physically locks on to the nearest enemy, and it basically auto targets it for you. So whenever you launch an attack, you are facing the direction the enemy is, and even if the enemy moves around, your character will track that enemy. So if you're having trouble like manually tracking an enemy yourself, you can just literally like hit that button, automatically track the enemy, and start throwing out your attacks without having to like turn and be precise and careful of your movements.
Yep. So if you've been keeping up, this run is coming to a close very, very soon. We have both of our damage dealing potions, or our faster damage dealing potions, in stock still. We haven't had to refill them because we haven't needed them. So Arthur will hopefully be dropping very quickly. Anyone got anything they want to say right here at the end?
Good luck, have fun!
You got this.
Sarge, anything you want to say at the end?
You're way better at this than I.
It's literally just a ton of math and a lot of hours figuring out how to make builds work. It is.
You don't say. We
it is
just
a
melted
good couple
phase
hundred
1.
hours.
And that time shows. Look at that. Blink and you'll miss it, folks. We're about to kill King Arthur.
Now, time on this is not when Arthur dies, but when I pull up the menu for the Grail. Because it's the last kill, I do actually have to hit the Grail and time.
GG.
There we go.
GG.
All right, good run. What was that RTA? I see on my splits that's a little over 28 minutes, I think, right?
Yeah, a little over 128. You're looking at a 128.21.
All right, not bad at all, honestly. For how much RNG was evil to us in those first few runs, I am very happy with that. Thank you so much for having me on, Sarge. It has been an utter joy to show off the 4-character run for the first time on any sort of show or platform.
Yeah, thank you so much, all three of you, for being here, for showing off the game, talking about it. I mentioned a little bit that I played the game, but definitely played a lot of this game the past few weeks here, and it is such a good game. And seeing you show it off at such a high level is so cool. Because I am nowhere near this level.
Anyone can be. Anyone can be. I guarantee you. As I said, we have a fully unlocked and upgraded save file available inside the SRC page for this. So if you want to just jump into speedrunning this game with having everything unlocked and upgraded, we have that available. But I will say, put in the time, put in the hours to play with the different characters, unlock the builds, and find out what works best for you as a player. Because as you saw here, any of these characters can have viable builds and viable times. You can have a viable, fast time with any of these 4 characters, and these are just the builds that a couple of runners and I have come up with. There are probably builds that I have not even theory crafted yet, and other runners have not even theory crafted yet. So please, jump in this game and give us something that we haven't thought of. There are so many unexplored possibilities, and I just want to see how fast this run can be pushed.
Yeah, for sure. This is a super fun game. I don't remember if you mentioned it on air. No, you definitely mentioned it on there. This game does go on sale for pretty cheap. It goes on for like $5. So if you haven't seen this and you're interested in it, you can pick it up. If it goes on sale, if money's tight, or you can pick it up full price like right now. And yeah, it is a super fun game, super interesting. There's just a lot of different things that you can do, and yeah, it's a super cool game.
Yep. I do believe that brings us to the end of my time here. Thank you again for having me on, Sarge.
Yeah, thank you all for being here. And unfortunately, we don't have anything else for you tonight. We are going to be raiding the Benelux Speedrun Gathering coming up here in just a few minutes. And so if you want any more speedrunning content, you can go ahead, raid them, or join our raid on them. Just a few quick reminders here before we do end for tonight. We do have more show coming up for you tomorrow. Obviously, we've got Hidden Heroes starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, followed by Express Lane at 10 p.m. Eastern. And we do have Gamescom coming up. It's going to be August 28th to 30th, live in Cologne, Germany. It is going to be our first European event. So you can visit Gamescom.global for more information about the event, and you can check out gdq.gg/schedule/Gamescom to see what runs will be featured there. Thanks again, everybody. Have yourselves a great night. And we are going to be rating BSG, so go give them some love.